Today I learned that you can Twitch stream from your phone. So the next time I have technical difficulties, we can just all go through them together. The channel died. I'm not sure how it happened. Let me reopen the chat here to see if any of you are still here. The computer just straight up hard locked. And we lost our game of Castlevania. We were at the very end of the game! We were all the way to the titular Castlevania. We had all of the items, sans the worthless dagger. We were ready to defeat Dracula, who was ludicrously easy in this game. And everything went wrong, which is fine. I'm, you know, I'm a professional. There's some tricks to my job. Having worked in AV my entire adult life, Don't tell me it happened again. Okay, it didn't happen again. And one of them is very impolitely put as shit your pants inwardly. Don't take that too literally. It's just, everything's gonna go wrong, and when it does go wrong, you can't be sweating and looking nervous and moving around and not really getting anything done. Just, okay, well, you know, practice radical acceptance. This is happening. This is a moment we're a part of. Oh, no.
Not really getting anything done.
Don't feed the sound twice. This is happening. This is something we can't help. Just put on your big boy pants and fix it. Hey, I see people in the chat. Let's see if I can pop it out and get it over to this monitor. I'm looking at a feed that's just all the way across the room. Give me a second. Alrighty. I have your chat window, though I missed the two things you said. Now, for some reason, they're not showing up. So the last two things that were said, when I popped the chat out, they vanished. But you guys are still here. Oh, one moment. I don't want to be watching the stream while I'm streaming it. So you're still here. I don't know where the conversation cut off, but I know I was talking about marketing and Republicans being better at marketing themselves than Democrats, and Mad Men, and ad agencies, and my truck. So, let me begin that story again. I drive a truck that is not a truck. I drive a truck that has a truck bed because I was in a job that required me to be able to haul sound gear, video gear all around town. Which I miraculously was able to get through a decade plus of without ever buying a canopy. I don't know how I did that in Seattle. But I will tell you that Dr. Mrs. My ex-wife was a big part of it, because some days I'd be all set for a gig and it would rain. I'd have to, honey, can you help me out? It's the dirty secret of the trade. I always had a backup plan. I always had a rental available to me, but it should she not be able to help me. But anyway, I needed to be able to haul gear around. And when I bought the truck, I needed to be able to move myself to Texas and back. So I needed a truck, and I bought a truck. I recently wrecked it. Am I frozen again? Why does it, what is even going on over there? God, I hope any of this is usable later. Okay, yeah, I'm live. God, bizarre. No idea what's going on. So I needed to be able to haul stuff, but I wasn't big into the gender performative big manly truck trope. Because you look live from here. Great, Snowbound, hello. Welcome to the stream. I died a bit ago, both in my game inadvertently, and the whole computer crashed. So I decided I'd just come back, finish the anecdote I was doing, maybe talk a little. Lost our game. Got all the way to the end of Castlevania 2. No dice. Just about to beat it. Complete hard lock. Lost the whole stream. Thankfully, I think the video is mostly intact. Hopefully we can get this up on YouTube later. So, I go to the rental car place. I get in a big car wreck. This is just Saturday. I get in a big car wreck, which I probably shouldn't talk about, like I said earlier, just because it's still, I don't know what I don't know, yeah. I don't want to be in court later having to explain things I said on a Twitch stream and being cross-examined about them. So, because the entire point of a cross-examination is to trip you up in your own words and make you say something you didn't mean and then use that against you, and I have no interest in ever enabling a lawyer or police officer to do that to me. So anyway, I got in a car wreck, and when I went to go rent my truck, they were like, what do you drive? I said 2002, whatever, truck. And they said, okay, you're a truck driver, that's great. The taxes are less on truck rentals because they don't count as car rentals. They count as equipment, utility vehicles for rent. Like, it's cheaper to rent a utility thing for work than it is to rent a car for leisure or to commute. So I was like, fine, I'll take, whatever you got. And they say, okay, we got a Ford F-150. And I thought about it, and I was like, isn't that kind of a big truck? But I didn't say anything, and then they brought it out, and it's this massive fucking behemoth of a truck. The kind of truck that only one kind of person really needs, and that's an enthusiast who goes buying in the woods. Cool, that's your hobby. Awesome. And 2, somebody who needs to haul shit. A construction worker, whatever. But more often than not, I see these trucks in the hands of people just as a matter of course, especially when I spend time down south. Just everybody's got a big truck. It's it's manly. It's a part of performative gender. So today, I drove it back and I went, this is too much truck for me. And they were, really? Like, they looked at me like I was somehow less than. Yeah. And I can be kind of confrontational with I can be weirdly, confrontationally, traditionally masculine about my femininity, if that makes any sense at all. Where I was like, yeah, dude, look at my legs. My legs are fucking shaved. Do you think I give a shit about driving a giant fucking truck? Because somebody has to be doing that. Somebody has to just be like challenging that, and I think we all should. I think all of us should just be like, dude, I'm not as stupid as you think that I am. And we all kind of need to say that. We all need to stand up and be like, all of this bullshit that you're pushing on all of us about what it is to be a man. Sorry, buddy, I'm too much man for that. I'm too manly for your idea of manly. I am manly enough to shave my legs and talk about it in public to people at the Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Sir, this is a Jack-in-the-Box drive-through. Yeah, I know. I wasn't, like, insufferable about it or anything. I just went, like, when they went, really? Like it was somehow an insult to me that I could, like, I should be ashamed of not being, having a truck that is, like, it felt like 12 feet wide on Seattle streets where you need to be able to, like, thread the needle to park anywhere. It was just asinine. So anyway, this all started with my opinion of the Republicans have co-opted what it is to be both Christian and a man. And really, they're good at neither. They're cowardly. They're not kind. When I was raised, men were taught to be kind to people. It wasn't just be an asshole, and that's what it is to be a man. That came later. So I'm sick to death of the Democratic Party being so shit at marketing themselves that they're associated with "you fucking pussy," which is just already I'm out. Already I'm like, okay, you're using female genitalia to describe weakness. Let's see what happens if I kick you in the balls, motherfucker. That's already stupid. But just that whole women are weak, weakness is bad, gotta be man, gotta be big, gotta be strong, gotta drive big truck, gotta overcompensate. And the Republican Party has done very well in marketing to that and in painting anybody who wants to give a shit about another human being as just some pussy who doesn't fucking get it. We should all be out for ourselves, and if you gotta compete, if you want help from anybody, you're not competing. Meanwhile, Paul fucking Ryan graduated college on Social Security, and now he's working actively to get rid of it. So, fuck your hypocrisy, motherfucker. You look back in the history of any of those people, and they all had help. Every single one of them had help. And the problem is not, if I were being really dismissive, I would find a way to just make that worse than it is. But here's what I think it is. I think that they're really insecure because they're buying into that idea that only real Americans, real men, real people make it on their own. And if you have to accept help, you're weak. And I feel like they did accept help, and they know it. And they feel weak. And so they want to take that help away from other people so that they can be seen as strong again, because they don't believe in the help they got. And if they don't believe in it, then they didn't really need it, and then they would have succeeded on their own in that Ayn Randian objectivist way. So that's how I feel. That's how I feel about that philosophy. I feel like there's a whole subculture in America that feels like if you need to ask for or accept help, you're weak. And that's horseshit. It's complete horseshit. Snowbound chimes in to say, Connor Fadersdorf of The Atlantic has an article on the idea of honor culture versus dignity culture, that you have to demonstrate worth and use force for defense in the former, and the latter is more about assigning identity. That sounds fucking fascinating, and I will look that up later. Yeah. So, I'm trying to wrap this back into the stream. You know, I already brought it back to the car crash, which we were talking about at the beginning of the stream. I'm trying to tie everything together. I'm doing that thing where you take all of your and then and turn them into therefores, which is an old writer's Bible trick. I'm not finding a way to bring this back to much of anything. But that's how I feel. Oh, you know what? Okay, let's try it. I had a catastrophic technical failure during a Castlevania stream, and I'm going to choose to define myself not by the fact that there was a catastrophic technical failure, but by the fact that it happened. I didn't panic. I figured out immediately while my computer was rebooting, which takes way too long, that you could Twitch stream from your phone. So I learned a new thing. That's cool. I got to tell the audience, hey, I'll be back in a minute. Which I hope that Twitch lets me save and download that video, because I want to upload that to YouTube too. In the wake of chaos, I learned a new thing. I stayed calm, and we're back on the air. And we didn't get to finish the game like I wanted, but I came back to finish the show. So, what do you do with a mistake? Do you shit your pants and blame somebody under you? Do you lose your mind about something going wrong, or do you just, okay, this happened. It's okay that this happened. I feel like not embracing the tropes of toxic masculinity makes it easier to function. In fact, in the middle of the car wreck, because it was all... I will say very little, but there was an opportunity for me to just be mad at a person. Nobody was in the car with me, but there was an opportunity for me to just freak out and be angry at a person and do something stupid, but my brain didn't go there. This is in large thanks to years of therapy and dialectical behavioral therapy skills. There was a moment where I knew the car was going to be wrecked. And I could have freaked out at the person and just been like, you know, my last words on this planet could have been, fuck you! But I didn't do any of that, because I've been training myself not to. And this is an active effort, and it will be an active effort for the rest of my life, because we're all trained to do this. We're all trained this way. And it's okay that we're not perfect yet. It's okay that we keep doing this. You got to work to be better. But there was a moment where the car was going to be wrecked. And what I was able to do is accept this car is going to crash. What I need to do is minimize damage. I need to make sure I don't hit another person. I need to make sure when I hit what I'm going to hit, I don't bounce into something that will put other people in danger. And I need to minimize the damage to myself my car, and the property, and just do all of that math all at once. And weirdly, it all happened so fast that I'm barely, how do I put this? It all happened so quickly that all I remember is how I felt. You know, I remember I remember the events, but what's strongest is what I felt. And what I felt was those things. Was stay calm. Don't do the dumb thing. Don't get mad. Don't flip out. Okay, now we're gonna crash. Make it work. Do whatever you can to not do any damage to any person or yourself, or, you know, last lower on the rung property. So that's our stream for the day. We're ending a little early, which is sad. Especially considering we've been missing Tuesday's stream and we're gonna have to miss it tomorrow. Or maybe I'll do it late. Maybe I'll do tomorrow's stream at 7, 8 o'clock Pacific time, and the East Coasters can just be shit out of luck. Or maybe the East Coasters are insomniacs who would be really into that. But just to tie all this together, that was our stream. I Love Bridges says, "Hi, I'm back. You missed a lot. We went through all of Castlevania 2. We started talking politics. The feed completely died. And I'm coming back here trying to wrap up the show in a way that people watching in the future will be able to feel like it might be coherent." Anyway. Snowbound and Bridges are saying hi to each other. That's very sweet. I love that. Dancing Baloney says, at Sofa Justice Warriors, lol. I might show up for a half hour. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I might do it. I might not. It depends on how grueling my work is tomorrow and how much other work I need to do on other stuff. I really want... Again, I've got the graphic up here of, for now, I should just change that to anything else. That might be something I do tonight. I might just change the header, all of this, to be hours finalized later. But I'm not going to do that just yet. Anybody watching knows, and we'll make it work. My hours will be, I just got transferred. I'll have a more regular schedule very soon. It's just, I just got hired. We had 4th of July last 2 Tuesdays ago. Then last Tuesday, I got called into work at the very last minute. And then tomorrow, they just called me in for tomorrow, too. This is show business. It's a pain in the ass. I love it. I love it to death. But it's a bit of a pain because you can't, man, in real life, it's, the expression goes, you want to make God laugh, make a plan. You work in show business, you want to make God laugh, make a schedule. And that doesn't just apply to people in their off time. I'm talking like in the shit. I've been an assistant director, which is not what it sounds like. It's not just somebody on set going like, quiet. It's, you do all of the logistical work, the production manager work on smaller, there are 2 jobs wrapped into one on smaller features. I'm getting inside baseball here, but you're the guy responsible for scheduling an entire film shoot, the guy or gal, the person, and yeah. You want to make lowercase g God laugh. You want to make film God laugh. Make a schedule, and that's what I'm dealing with right now. So that sucks because it's poorly timed. Because the cardinal sin of starting a stream and trying to make it popular is to have an irregular schedule. It just doesn't work out for people. That's why, when I started this, I was like, I'm putting in the graphic. I'm fucking putting it there. And Dell, who runs Wednesdays and was doing Mondays with me for our first couple weeks, a little less confident about that than I was. But I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it. And sure enough, you want to curse yourself. Throw a graphic with a time and day on it on the internet. You can do it on TV when you got a staff of dozens of people and 3 of them can go down to the flu and you can still make it. But on this level, shit, man. Ain't no way. Okay. I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna hop off camera for just 1 second. I'm gonna give you guys about a minute, maybe a little less. I'm not even gonna throw up the graphic. I'm just gonna run upstairs for a second. I'm gonna give you guys about a minute. Anything you want to say that you want me to respond to, I will absolutely respond to it, no matter how asinine, no matter how profound, no matter how long I think the topic will go before I stop this show. So if you got anything to say or feel like you might, give you some time to think. I'll be right back. And then we will wrap it up. Just leave all that sound in. It's the beauty of live. I don't gotta post-produce nothing. Alright, no new chat. No questions. I didn't give you the full minute, though, so I'm cheating a little. But let me just tell you, while I'm on camera and I'm live... Oh, here we go. I can wrap this up later. Snowbound says, at the risk of not giving you anything, comment on that latest Doctor Who announcement. I'm for it. We've all wanted the Doctor to not be a white dude for kind of a while. Just within the fandom. And everybody's just losing their shit about it, both positive and negative. And there's that whole hashtag not my doctor campaign that's going on. Long story short, spoiler alert, everybody. This has been announced to the world. If you're a Doctor Who fan, you can skip ahead like a couple minutes if I go a couple more minutes. The next Doctor is a woman. So the Doctor has regenerated into a woman. The Doctor has already been 15 technically, other people, though David Tennant was twice. The Doctor regenerates into different people. And why none of those people has been a woman, that was first talked about, I think, in 1983. It's been on the table since then. Dancing Baloney says, best Seattle microbreweries. I like Pyramid. Pyramid's all right. They make beers that aren't hoppy, and I'm not a big hops guy. I'm not, yeah. Everybody around here is, but Pyramid has some things that I like. I'm more bourbon than a beer guy. But when I do drink beer, I don't like hoppy beer. And I will not turn my nose up at Rainier, even though it is now technically made in California. The Seattle Rainiers, I don't think they're the Seattle team. The Rainiers, our minor league baseball team, you can't buy Rainier beer at a Rainiers game anymore. Fuck. Anyway, back to the Doctor Who thing. But Pyramid Hefeweizen, I think, is here. Pretty sure. And they make some fine beers. They make some some good product. But we have just an embarrassment of riches as far as beer is concerned here, and I'm not a beer guy. We have an embarrassment of riches where coffee is concerned too, and I'm not a coffee guy. I don't drink coffee at all. I barely drink beer. You know, but Pyramid Hefeweizen is pretty damn good. If you guys want to sponsor me, I'll start drinking you every damn day. If you want to sponsor me, I'll drink you on the air. You ever see this? You're just down the street. So, back to the Doctor Who thing. We've all been wanting a non-white dude doctor just because Doctor Who, fundamentally, is like the first social justice show on the air. It predates No, it doesn't predate Star Trek, I don't think. Maybe it does. I think it does predate Star Trek. But it had all those sci-fi messages of like, everybody, can you all just be good to each other? We'll do these allegorical things where the Daleks are literally based on Nazis. Of any difference must be exterminated. Okay, so in a show where the main antagonist thinks that difference should be exterminated, people are losing their shit about the Doctor now being different. And I feel like if you're one of those fans, you haven't been watching. You have watched the show incorrectly. I don't often accuse people of doing that, but it's the ultimate show for acceptance of difference. It's all about it. Now, it gets it wrong a lot because we all do. All of us always will. We're never going to be perfect at it, and that's okay. It's as long as you keep trying. And Doctor Who keeps trying, and Doctor Who keeps succeeding in many ways, as it continues to fail in others. And it's fine. But I'm super pumped because... Okay, I'm still moving. I keep looking over there panicking like maybe I've gone off the air again. That was a little traumatizing. It does... There is a part of me that's like, oh, really? Like a straight up tall, blonde, Aryan-looking woman, though? Are you trying to ease us into acceptance? Yeah, it's a woman, but she's one of you. To that contingent of people? I don't know. It does... the actress is fantastic, and that's really all I care about. I haven't been on board with Doctor Who long enough. The only two because I got on with the 50th anniversary. That show was 50 years old the day I first watched it. But I've gone back and watched just scores of Doctor Who, which is not how you use that word, but I just did. But I've gone back and watched just tons and tons and tons of Doctor Who, and the thing I love about it, at first I was like, this is stupid. And I had it on the background because there was a lot of it, and I was out of TV, and my dad had cancer, and I didn't ever want to have an idle thought. I didn't ever want to just sit there and be alone with my thoughts, so I'd do homework and have something on the TV. I'd be cooking, I'd have something on the TV. I just always needed noise to not be the thing that was going on in my life. And I went, I'm out of this, I just rewatched this, I got nothing else. People have been telling me Doctor Who forever. I've tried to watch it, it looks stupid, and I put it on and it was stupid, and by the end of it I was like, get him, Doctor! I'll change real quick if it's good enough. But Doctor Who, like most things, has really high highs, really low lows, and when it's really good, it's very, very good, and when it's bad, it's horrid. And that's fine. I feel that way about humanity and television, and most things, is we need to stop expecting everything to be perfect all the time. I believe that about people. I believe that about television. I think if your heart's in the right place and when somebody tells you, hey, that was bad, you don't just go, nothing I ever done is bad ever. Wrong response. Now I'm off the boat. I'm not on board anymore. But for the most part, when people criticize Doctor Who, the creators, the writers, or whatever, go, ooh, maybe we could have done that better. And that's something I really enjoy seeing. If a creator does that and just has that reaction, that's all I care about. I can't speak for everybody. I can't speak for everybody in the SJW community as if there were such a thing, as if that actually existed. Because mostly you just have a bunch of people going, hey, can you be decent? Oh, you're an SJW! Okay, I guess. Anyway, though it has been pointed out to me that decent is a meaningless word because it's too subjective. I need to come out kind, maybe. I don't know. Even then, fighting with language. So those are the two questions I got. The way I want to close out the show is this, provided there are no other questions. I very nearly died 2 days ago. I was literally inches from death. If I had crashed that car, if the car had crashed, see, damn it, I just gave court something to use by saying I crashed the car. I didn't crash the car. If the car had crashed differently by 6 inches in one direction, I would probably be dead. Yeah. I don't know what to do with that, aside from tell all of you that ever see this, all 5 of you, all 3 that are here now, all 2 that watch it in the future. And if I ever hit big, if I ever have that Eddie Izzard, it took me 10 years to become an overnight success moment, all of the people rapping back to this years from now, or days from now, or months from now, I'm an optimist, hug somebody you love if you can. Tell somebody you love them, especially if A, you haven't already, and B, if you have and haven't said it lately. But the second thing I want to say is if be a little more liberal with the I love yous. Because I make it a point every time I leave the presence of somebody I love, and this is friends, I say this to platonic guy friends, straight guy friends. Said it to Craig on the show together. Last Monday? Or the Monday before? I think it was the Monday before. Said it to him. He and I, he's straight as a funny metaphor, and that I can't come up with. And he and I never engaged in any of that bullshit. Even before I came out to him, we were just, hey, I love you, man. And it's nice. And I got to tell you that when I looked at, okay, what is the last? One last story. One last little story. While we're stream of consciousing this, that's a word. The end of this stream, right after my car accident, within half an hour, it was my job to babysit a public address system at a very public venue in Seattle, very famous, one you've heard of. And I'm not going to say which, for whom, or for what company, but a famous venue in Seattle. I was manning a soundboard, and the soundboard was running itself. There was no real work to be done. I was just there to fix it if it broke. And that meant that half an hour after nearly dying, I had 8 hours to stand around and think about my mortality and think about what all this meant. And I came to a few conclusions. 1, hug somebody you love, tell somebody you love them. 2, I counted up the last thing I said to everybody I know. And that's how I came kind of to the first conclusion. Because the last thing I said to almost everybody I knew was, I love you, or you something like that. And I went, if I did die, what people would remember, the last memory they would have of me is either something dumb I said on the internet or their last memory of actually interacting with the real me, which was me telling them, I love you, or thank you, or it was good to talk to you. Even something as simple as that. Don't end things mad if you can help it. I know fights happen. And I'm not a guru here. I'm not a genius because I almost died. And I'm not special. But just, you've heard this a million times, and I'm saying it again. I'm saying it just one more data point for you to have kicking around in your head when you make a decision. And when you make the decision, hopefully it's a good one. Hopefully, when you leave the presence of people you love, tell them you love them. When you leave the presence of people maybe just a thank you. Maybe just, if their last memory of you is thank you. Just be kind, be gracious, and it's hard, especially when people themselves are fucking with you. and they're being an asshole. That's when it's hardest. And there are some people out there that I had to take stock and say, what if their last memory of me before I died was the last thing I said to them? And thankfully there weren't that many. So, for Sofa Justice Warriors, I'm Joe. You can find us at Sofa Justice on Twitter. You can find us at Sofa Justice Warriors on Patreon, on Facebook, and on some third thing. I can't remember. Who even knows? Oh, the website. SofaJusticeWarriors.com. And YouTube. Sofa Justice Warriors. You can just Google Sofa Justice Warriors or get to most of it. Or, if you're watching us on Twitch, you can just scroll down and there it all is. Or you can just go to our Twitch page at twitch.tv/Sofa Justice Warriors. You want to make this all easy, you can just click all the add buttons. And there we all will be. It's been an honor and a privilege. Hug somebody. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Boy, I got all preachy and I had a nice moment with you all, and now I just can't figure out how to stop the stream. Good night, everybody.